Welcome to Pioneers in Payments, where payments experts share their insights. Now, here's our host, Donna Blum.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Pioneers in Payments. Today, I have the great honor of speaking with Tammy Trilli from FNBO. Welcome to the podcast, Tammy.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to be here.
Well, I'm so glad that you are willing to join us here. I'm looking forward to gleaning some insights from you today. But before we get started, Tammy, would you mind sharing with our audience a little bit about yourself, your background in payments, and the work that you do at FNBO?
Yes, absolutely. So again, thank you for having me. I have been in the payments industry. I'm going on, I believe it's my 34th year. So it's been a minute. I was actually part of the team way back that launched the first purchasing card. So there's a lot of my friends. They probably don't even work anymore. They're probably all retired, but a lot of us did that together. So I spent 20 years at American Express and then 10 years with JPMorgan and the last 4+ here at FNBO. And I have the great privilege and honor to lead the commercial payments organization here at FNBO, which basically consists of, to keep it simple and the way that I typically explain it to any customers, all things money movement, if you will. So the bank is designed or structured, I should say, into the banking side of the house and the partnership side of the house. And within the banking division, there's obviously lending and commercial, and I have all of the other solutions, if you will, that go with the commercial space for the banking division.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it's fun. It's all different. So it makes it very exciting. Every day is different.
It keeps it interesting that way.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
Well, Tammy, really kind of the purpose of this podcast is to glean some insights from you on all that's happening in the payments industry today. I mean, it's definitely evolving and changing at a very rapid pace. So my first question for you is, what would you say is the most notable trend in the industry today?
Yeah, I think, for all of us that sit in these seats or anywhere in payments, it comes down to like the hot topics, the topic du jour of speed, right? How quickly, ironically, I think Faster Payments Conference is going on right now. So, how fast and how efficient can we help our customers with the payments that they need to make, along with how can we take what, again, has been something that we've all been doing for years and years and years? Because I feel like if you're in this industry, you stay in it. And as much as everything has evolved, it still does come down to how fast and how efficient and how effective can you help your customers with how they actually need to pay things, right? Pay for things, pay for people, services, things like that. That hasn't changed. I can remember, selling years and years and years ago and just, asking the same three questions that I ask today. But I think for the folks in the industry now, we continue to look at ways that move that business more and more into a digital space, even when the customers are not, the big, large enterprise size customers that have all the technology and all of the resources to make those types of things digital. So being able to help customers with speed and a digital experience is really what we're all talking about today.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the transition is definitely going from those like traditional payment methods, checks, cash, more digital now. So that definitely seems where the focus should be. So, if, in your opinion, with all that's happening in the industry, what would you say is the greatest opportunity for organizations that process payments?
Yeah, I think for us, it's about the customer experience, right? I have recently got lucky enough to go to literally, I think I was at 3 peer roundtables in the last 6 weeks. And as much as we're all talking about, RTP and FedNow and all the things that we need to do, it's more about what is the experience that we're building for our customers and for ourselves, that will enable us to be able to work with them and streamline what they do today without overcomplicating it. So making sure that the customer experience stays at the forefront, and that it doesn't get lost in this race to, again, digitize or change an entire way of doing business that these customers have known for years and years and years, even though we want them to change what they're doing, right? That's important. But at the end of the day, it does come down to how they interact with their customers and how we interact with them. And it's one of the reasons why I love where I work. The customer experience and the relationship at FNBO is and always will remain to be at the forefront of everything that we do.
Yeah, that's so important. I think I saw the FNBO tagline on an ad at the airport recently. It was something like, I don't know, I hope I don't destroy it, but it was something like, um, the big small bank, or the I don't know, something along those lines. Like, even though you're a really large bank, you still treat customers as if, you were a small bank with, just really taking care of them. And I think that's kind of what you're speaking to, right? Is customer experience is paramount.
Right.
And
Yeah. It's
you
the
have to.
great big small bank. I probably have something in my office that says that.
Yes, that was it. Thank you. I knew I didn't have it quite right. Um, and it's so true. So, yes, focusing on the customer is super important. And obviously, as their needs change, um, you know, that you're going to have customers that are still doing it the old way, but now you're going to have to serve new customers in new ways. And, everybody has a different, I guess, different needs, and different expectations. So,
Yeah,
I,
and I think knowing how to identify those, right? And knowing which ones make sense to push the customer to do differently and which ones don't make sense and let them do what they're doing today as long as they're staying protected, right? That's another big piece that, I think is extremely important.
Absolutely. Well, maybe that's a segue into the next question. So we talked about the greatest opportunity. What would you say is the biggest challenge that organizations that process payments are facing today?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it was a perfect segue. Like I said, Um, I participate in a few really impressive peer groups that I just value immensely. And I mean, without a question, it's fraud, 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 and more fraud. Every single millisecond, something new is coming our way and coming the way of the customer. So we were just talking about this last week when we were together as a group. Everyone says, and she'll know if she watches this, a peer of mine had said, like, it's one thing for us to be able to educate the customer, but how do we arm them? Right. But I do think it's both. We have to make sure that we're out there and we're talking to the customers about it. This is, again, like I said, when we were kind of getting ready to jump on the podcast, it's not rocket science, but we have to remind them how easy it can happen, and show them and give them examples, because it's not, everyone says it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. And there are simple things that we can do in this payment space that will protect the customer a lot more than if they're not doing anything. Right. So, and really putting value, impact examples in front of the customers that make it relevant. A $50,000 loss to one of my customers could take them to their knees, right? Like, it matters. And if you scale that $50,000 loss, up to the really large customers, it's the exact same scenario. And then you're not just dealing with the loss, you're dealing with, the environment and the education and the perception. And that's scary and that's hard. So it's about protecting the data, helping your customers be educated, investing in technology that is stable. That's huge, right? For us, for everyone. We talked a lot about this recently. You know, we rely on a lot of partners to help us do what we do. And I have incredible partners and I value, the way that we work together. But uptime matters. Uptime and how we deliver things matter. And the stability and security of customer data and customer experiences is what will protect this environment and this industry for hanging on forever. And it could also be what, could really hurt us.
Absolutely. Yeah, it could make or break the organization. Could make or break not only the financial institution, but also the businesses and the customers they serve. So, super important. Yeah. Well, okay. So, my favorite question, to I'm going to ask you now just to take your sum total of knowledge about the industry and all that's happening in the industry and give one silver bullet piece of advice to organizations that process payments.
Once everyone says there's no silver bullet. That's always what everyone's going to respond and say because there's not, right? To me, it's about it's about a culmination of things. What makes the industry better, what makes the payments environment important. It's about all of us that are in it and have been in it for a really long time, making each other better. I thought about this a lot and I feel like there's been this interesting shift, and it could just be me and my, kind of positive, melancholy kind of view into it. But I just don't see this as a super competitive environment anymore, as much as it is let all of us come together and help each other to be better, to protect each other, to protect our customers, to fight the fraud fight, to hold our partners accountable in solutions that we need to be successful. So that's really what I see is like, we really are better together. We are a powerhouse when we partner with each other. It's one of the reasons why I saw your podcast and I was like, oh, I want to talk to her. I so enjoy sitting down with my peers and my competitors who are my peers and just talking about like, what do we do to change the way that we work? And how do we help our customers be better? How do we make this ecosystem better? And how do we make sure that payments continue to evolve and deliver the value that we all have known for the years and years that we've sat in it, and get our customers and our, financial institutions working in partnership to deliver great success into the future? That's, to me, that's what makes it work and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I love that. So it's all about collaboration, right? And if you can share what you learn with other organizations, then everybody benefits. Um, and I guess as you were talking, I was also thinking, you know what? Your competitors are not your enemies, right? Like competition's healthy, but there is an enemy out there. It's all those bad actors and fraudsters, right? So you all share a common enemy, right? Those that are trying to um, defraud people out of their money. So
Yeah. And if you take, the years and years and powerhouse of knowledge and all the folks that are coming into the industry new as well with their education and their expertise in this technology, and you bring us all together, that's a really strong approach making a difference. So that's what I look for. That's what I love to do.
That's fantastic. Well, and we're going to wrap up here in just a moment, but I did want to congratulate you on recently being named one of the most influential women in the payments industry. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you. That was a big shock. I'm extremely humbled. I've said this before. There are incredible women in that group, and some that I've actually reported to in my career. And I feel incredibly honored to be on that list and very grateful for it because I have been able to do this for a really long time. And it feels really good to be able to make a difference. And again, work next to people that I admire and I continue to look up to every single day. But thank you. I appreciate the comment.
Well, it was well deserved. So, and before I let you go, I would like to just ask you to share with our audience, how they might learn more about FNBO, how they might reach out to you if they wanted to have a conversation. What information would you like to share?
Sure, absolutely. Well, for me, anyone can hit me on LinkedIn. But if you go to FNBO.com, I think it's hyphen commercial, you'll find me, you'll find my organization. And then I think the other really easy way, to find us is just the FNBO Insights. So I think it's like FNBOinsights.com. But the FNBO website will get you to me, will get you to any information that you might be looking for on our institution or commercial payments specifically. But definitely myself through LinkedIn. I will say on LinkedIn, I am Tamara with 2 M's. I should probably change that because I really go by Tammy. And then any one of my leaders on LinkedIn, we're all pretty active out there. But that's probably a really good way to get to us.
Okay, and we'll be sure to include a link to your LinkedIn profile in the description of the video so people will be able to find you there as well as the web address. So, Tammy, I just want to thank you so much for your time today. It's just been such a pleasure speaking with you and getting to know you a little bit better. We're both here in Omaha, and we've kind of been in the same at some of the same events, but I don't know that we've ever had a chance to talk face to face. So we'll have to change that next time.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have to grab coffee or something. But thank you so much, Donna. And thank you for doing this. I love that you do this. I think it's so important. And I really appreciate you allowing me to come on and spend some time with you. So thanks.
Well, it has been my pleasure. All right. Well, thanks again, Tammy. And I want to thank everybody else for watching today. Have a great day.